What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from The Quartering, and Hollywood has finally admitted what we all already knew. Now, if you've been following the collapse of the self-celebrating, the self-awarding ceremonies that Hollywood has been putting on over the past few years, you know that the ratings have been collapsing. A classic get woke, go broke scenario in terms of, nobody really wants to hear from Hollywood celebrities who are worth $100 million talk about how they're oppressed. It's just not something regular, everyday people want to hear. They know that these people never really struggle anymore. Maybe they did when they were young. Absolutely. But those days are so far behind them that they have no idea what it's like to float checks anymore, or what it's like to, pick up cans to get a few bucks. They have no idea what that's like. They have no idea what it's like to work a second job on weekends, exchanging time with your family to increase the likelihood you'll be able to put food on the table, or maybe send your kids to college. Hollywood people don't understand this. And the thing is, that's okay. They're supposed to be there to give regular people a performance that lets us get away from everything for a few hours. Go to the movies and see a superhero film. But somewhere along the lines, they started to think that we gave a damn about what they had to say when they weren't wearing the cape. Somewhere along the lines, that wasn't enough for them. Being thought of as a great actor or actress suddenly wasn't enough anymore. Suddenly we had to think they were all intelligent too, that they all had galaxy brains, big thinks. And a lot of them have alienated entire fandoms because of this. This extends beyond just the actors and actresses and all the way up to the directors and movie producers and things like that. I mean, I don't think I need to remind people what's happened in the Star Wars universe ever since, it wasn't about making good Star Wars films. It was about making films with the right appropriate number of women versus men versus minority groups. When they started worrying about checking boxes instead of putting something together that was good, you got the latest sequel trilogy. Yes, The Mandalorian was good. It returned a ton of people to Star Wars, but Disney absolutely blew it. The people that they had brought back into the fold are the exact same people that they lost with the firing of Gina Carano. And if we look at what is a hilarious reveal here, Hollywood is admitting now that they lose money on these award shows. The Golden Globes typically trailed only the annual Oscars telecast on ABC. The Walt Disney Network pays an annual license fee of $100 million. In some years, its ratings exceed those for the Grammys telecast on CBS. This is about the Golden Globes. And the Golden Globes ratings held steady until this year. It seemed to be immune from the ratings decline plaguing broadcasters. This year, with the COOF forcing producers to stage the show without stars in the audience, by the way, that's not why. Viewership slumped to an all-time low 6.9 million viewers. The Golden Globes is no longer profitable for NBC, according to a knowledgeable executive who has not been authorized to speak publicly. Or who has not been authorized, yeah. Still, the show brings other benefits. No, it doesn't. Grammy Awards drop 51% to record low. Do you think that's because there weren't stars in the audience? Nah. What's more likely? Or is it, you have race baiter, political hack Trevor Noah hosting it, who constantly misconstrues facts to push his political agenda. And I remember when The Daily Show used to be funny. Now it's turned into this just ridiculous, and by the way, Jon Stewart obviously was always political. The show always had a liberal slant, but it just seems like ever since Trump, the show just has become like pure TDS. People thought, Trevor Noah started thinking people gave a damn what he had to say. And I don't, and lots of people don't. And the ratings of anything he touches continues to go down. The Grammys are the latest award show to see a drastic drop in TV listings. Even as music fans have been stuck home for the past year, itching for a chance to see some of their favorite artists perform, there seems little interest in watching them on TV in the meantime. Sunday's Grammy Awards hit a record low of 8.8 million viewers, down 53% from last year's 18.7 million. And what people aren't pointing out here, or what these articles, these shill outlets aren't also pointing out, is this is a time, by the way, these things are on network television, meaning you don't have to have a cable subscription to watch them. Nobody's watching. You have more people than ever. Well, in recent history, I should say. Obviously, there's been times in history when unemployment was very, very high, like the Great Depression. We had the recession in the 2000s, things like that. But let's say in the last 20 years, you have more people sitting at home now than ever. In particular, not just unemployment reasons. People are afraid to go out because they consume too much mainstream media, or maybe their entire city's locked down, right? And they can't, even if they wanted to. And they're still not watching. Being down 53% is already an embarrassment, but when you layer in the fact that you have a literal captive audience and still people aren't watching you, what does that tell you? Trevor Noah told Reuters before the ceremony, Grammy's producers figured out how to make the award show for the time as opposed to trying to crowbar an award show into it. The comedian, the last night televised proceedings on a stage outside LA Staples Center, the ceremony's usual venue. Nominees and artists who were performing in an auxiliary soundstage nearby rotated in and out, pared down live audiences, blah, 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 blah. Disappointed networks may lean on the fact that the lockdown era for live events are down across the entertainment spectrum. The Golden Globes saw a 64% drop in viewers, seeing an all-time low of 6.9 million. For comparison, the new CBS hour-long drama, The Equalizer, caught more eyes, 7.5 million viewers in the same time slot. This isn't about live events. This is about live events being politicized and live events serving as surrogates for the elite ruling class, or the elite to tut their noses down at everyday Americans and really everyday citizens around the world. That's what these things. If you want to say the live events are down, how about the Super Bowl? Surefire viewership bonanza saw ratings nosedive to a number not seen since 1969. Now, do you think, and nowhere in this entire article does it point to even the remotest possibility that people tuned out because you were politicizing everything? Why do you think, after the week 1 ratings disaster in the NFL, that they suddenly stopped showing all the on-field political demonstrations? Do you think it was because they weren't happening? No. They did it because people were revolted by it. And I'm not saying that the message that was put out by the players was bad, but people don't tune in to random sports ball events to see the news. They don't tune in to the Grammy Awards to see the news. And this is something that continues to vex athletes. It's like, who the hell wants to listen to LeBron James talk about world politics? Sorry, not interested. Put the ball in the hole. And who wants to hear, I don't know, I can't even, name a popular baseball player anymore. Mike Trout. Who wants to hear Mike Trout talk about oppression when the guy's worth, $500 million? Why is that so hard to grasp? And the fact that this isn't a bigger issue, the fact that they're losing money on these award shows. The Golden Globes brought $47 million in advertising revenue for the broadcast in 2020, down from the high water mark of $51 million in 2019, which saw as popular movies as A Star is Born, Black Panther, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Don't care. It's a premium live audience that makes NBC more attractive to advertisers. Advertisers have been leaning into live events. That's where they're seeking consumers. Well, if you would like to get viewers, allow me to provide some free advice for you. Nobody cares what Amy Poehler and Tina Fey have to say about modern political issues at all. Now, there is a small but vocal percentage of people that agree with their political leanings, and I'm not even saying necessarily I disagree with something that they might have said in particular. I'm just saying there is a group of viewers, most usually left-leaning for this particular type of thing, who want that reinforcement. They want to hear Tina Fey say Orange Man bad, right? That's what they want. They need that. But most people, including liberals, don't tune in to political or to the Grammys to hear about modern day political issues. They don't tune in to see, BLM protests via music video. And again, that's not saying the message is bad. I'm saying that's not your product. Your product is to allow everyday Americans to turn off their brains and laugh at the funny person. All right. That's what we want you for. That's why we give you our money. The second you wanted to, you want to turn this into a news event, well, I can just go online. I can go on Twitter. I can go on Facebook. I can watch the nightly news. I could talk to anybody at the pub if that's what I wanted. But Hollywood celebrities got this ego, and it's not going anywhere, and I can't wait to see it all collapse. I hope you enjoyed this video. We'll talk to you again real soon.